right, Satan Fest 2025 continues with the ninth gate. Satan Fest 2025 is fucking ridiculous. If this is the first video someone watched and I just casually dropped that like I did, oh man, what they would think. That's pretty funny. I should have just rolled with it. The ninth gate. I could make the obvious joke here like I typically do and say I missed the first 8. There's 8 other movies. Alright. Polanski. Roman Polanski. Right. Yeah, a guy who drugged and raped a 13-year-old kid and can't step foot on U.S. soil because of it for decades now, but people still clamor to work for the guy. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, I will say. Same thing, Woody Allen. He's an interesting fella, to say the least. And yeah, I mean, the celebrities will line up around the block to be in a Woody Allen film. In fact, Johnny Depp waived his typical $10 million fee to star in this film because he wanted to work with Polanski so bad. So right there alone, I mean, it says a lot for sure. I am somebody who likes to separate the art from the artist, but at the same time continuing to keep funding his project and keep his name at the elevated status that it is within the country he is currently still at this point. Well, would he be? I mean, the statute of limitations, what would that be on that? I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I would assume, yeah, he has a warrant out for his arrest here in the States, but people from the States are allowed to go work on his film, and he's allowed to release his films here in this country. It's odd. It's odd, for sure. It definitely seems like a really weird fucking loophole that shouldn't be a thing. Like, he didn't leave the planet. It's not like we don't know where he is. He's not in hiding. Like, you can go on over and find him, obviously. You could just go to the set of this movie at the time and be like, but there's no extradition. It's a weird thing. Anyway, so it's yeah. I mean, if the dude really did drug and rape a 13-year-old girl, which I can only assume that he did. Yeah, this is fucking terrible, and he's a piece of shit, and it definitely makes you not want to watch any of this stuff, and it makes you just go, well, I don't give a fuck how good his movie is. And I did. I did quite enjoy this. I've seen it before. I didn't really know the extent of his crimes until I really looked into this one this time, where I just looked up the trivia and whatnot, and was like, oh wow, that's fucking crazy. So I don't know, how do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about watching movies made by predators or people like this after the fact, right? This isn't like watching Naked Gun when O.J. Simpson was like who he was beforehand, or something like that. Sorry, I thought I turned the AC off, but continuing on. Yeah, I mean, everybody knew what he did, and they continue to keep wanting to work with the guy. I don't know. That seems super fucked up to me. So, yeah, shame on Johnny Depp and I guess everybody who works with him knowing this. Imagine, it's hard to, what other analogy am I going to give other than the actual fucking thing that happened? Like, imagine a director fucking raped a kid and you wanted to work with him. That's literally what happened. And people are like, oh, I don't even need as much money to work with this guy. It's fucking crazy. But, alright, I'll try to just roll with the film. So, yeah, in the opening, this guy who kills himself is just committed. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't look like he's stressing it. He doesn't look like he is questioning it at all. He's just like writes his note, goes, gets on the noose, just very kind of robotically just pops it over his neck, kicks his chair, and just goes and dies. Like, that is a dude who is done. Now, I don't know really exactly what to make of this with this scene, because we later find out that his wife is really the one that's into it, right? And she's the one that wants the book, and she's the one that's in the cult, and he sold it to Belk and behind his wife's back. So I don't really know exactly what to make of that. If there's something said in the movie that makes there's like more clarity to it, then let me know. But he just kills himself, and I'm just kind of left wondering why, because he had something to do with the evil that's in that book, because he purchased it for his wife and he feels guilty, so he gets rid of it but then takes his own life as out of like guilt or what. Because I mean, if this book is correct, if he believes in this kind of stuff, wouldn't suicide, isn't that like a mortal sin? Wouldn't he go to hell? And I don't know. I don't really understand because everyone else in the movie who has a book does die, but they're murdered. But in this, we see him. He is totally in control of what he's doing, and he takes his own life, plain and simple. Like, we see it. He's not sitting there like worried or stressed or like, I'm being forced to do this, or no, it's very much just like a calculated decision. And he goes and he writes his note and he kills himself. So I don't know. I don't really. I didn't even honestly think about it until right now. Like when I was just sitting here recording this, I didn't think about it. So maybe I'm missing something, but regardless, anyway. Then we jump into our CGI opening titles. These were starting to become popular at the time, because CGI was just starting to be like the upcoming cool thing to have in your film like this. And we pass through the 9 gates and start the movie. Now, this movie definitely reminds me of, and I've mentioned this as a similar style of film in past movies that we've reviewed on the channel, but once again, I can't help but bring it up. This definitely feels like a longer, lengthier version of John Carpenter's cigarette burns. That lost thing that the private collector, detective type of guy is hired to authenticate or find the last copy or whatever. And there's just like evil afoot all around. So yeah, it's kind of tropey, but I think this one's cool. And this is before cigarette burns, right? So I would say that this influenced that. I'm not saying one is ripping off the other exactly. I'm just saying that regardless, it reminds me of it. So I wonder if this story influenced that one. It probably did. And then, yeah, I mean, much like The Devil's Advocate, you have a very morally bankrupt main protagonist as your lead here. Our introduction to Johnny Depp's character is he is swindling these people who don't know anything about their collection that they've just now acquired from one of them is the father, or is it brother and sister, or husband and wife, and one of them is, I don't remember, whatever it is. They inherit this book collection because this guy is I think had a stroke or something, and now is incapacitated. He's still kind of there because he like freaks out when he's like, oh, I could pay you X amount of thousands of dollars for this collection, which is like nothing. And of course, it's the best shit in the collection. For sure, and this is kind of the benefit of the internet is the appraisal wouldn't really be that difficult anymore. And you would type in something like the Don Quixote 4-volume collection from this year, and you would see it was worth an exponentially larger sum than he was offering them. But I would be very aware that the guy who came over, who's like, oh, all of your books are worth so much money, but these 4, these are worth nothing. Why don't I just give you some money and I'll leave? Like, dude, that is 100% someone who's taking your best shit and scamming you. Like, I would be so privy to that instantaneously. I'd be like, no, that's good. I think we're going to hold on to these. If you still want them after I get a second opinion, I'll call you back. But since you seem to want them so bad, there shouldn't be any reason why you can't hold off on purchasing these. So, yeah, but this is a con that would work 100%. I'm sure it works on tons of people. And he seems like he's their best friend. He plays nice. He seems like he's a professional. I'm sure that his name came highly regarded by probably that book seller guy that he gets killed. So they trust him, and I get that. But man, this is brutal. It's brutal. Now, to be fair, though, these books aren't theirs. They didn't acquire these. They didn't pay for them. They're not really theirs. They just inherited them. But I don't know. That's a longer conversation about inheritance. But the nepotism in this country, especially, and I'm sure all around the world, is a problem. It's a problem. For super wealthy people, it's a fucking problem. It's just like their wealth will never be... let's not get into that. I talk about that shit too much on this channel lately. I don't want to get into some BS conversation like that right now. Anyway, and then Frank Lagella's character, Balkan, he's like evil guy. So like a good amount of the stuff in this movie is very like on the nose, I will say. There's nothing really subtle about this movie. The whole like his gets in his elevator and he presses 666 and then he goes up to his book collection and that code is also 666. It's like, it's the devil's code. My body's been wanting to yawn this entire time. I'm telling you, what's crazy about the yawning is, I get shit for it in the comments sometimes, is that like, and I think it's because I'm talking so much, right? And I need to take a breath or something. I don't know exactly what ends up happening here, but I'll sit here for 2 hours right before recording, fucking doing stuff, watching stuff, whatever. Yawn 0 times, none. As soon as I press record, within 5 minutes, my body's like, it's 1:30 in the morning right now. My body just wants. It's like I was fighting it off the whole time. It was coming, and I was like, no, don't do it. And it's impossible. It's impossible to fight through it. Anyway, but yeah, the like 666 code pad stuff, and there's a few other things in here we'll talk about, but it's all just very kind of what would be the right word? Very like surface level Satan devil stuff. It's like, oh, that the devil's attached to 666, right? Like you know that evil number, right? I don't know. It's just so silly to me. And then the same thing with the writer of the book. Like, oh, he wrote the book in 1666. What is this, fucking Fear Street? I don't know. It's just all that kind of silly stuff. It's like he waited till the year 1666. Why not? What happened to the 1,000 years before that in the year 666? Why is it always 1666? Anyway. How I feel? Oh yeah, I mean, the collectors in this definitely feel like me and friends of mine, where their collection is like their prized possession, and they just kind of worship it and sit around it and look at it. I mean, I definitely stare at my collection and longingly, a little too often. I'll just pull up a chair sometimes and just kind of stare at it. And sometimes when I like sit further back, I'm like, holy shit. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I need so many more things. And then sometimes I like really sit back away from it and just take it all in. And I'm like, whoa, maybe I have way too much shit. Maybe I need to get rid of some of this stuff. This is a little absurd. There's so many up here. It's like, can I ever watch them all? Like, if I was to even just, and I think about this all the time, where even if I was to just watch every single movie I have up on this wall, start from the beginning and work my way to the end. And let's say I watched like one a year, oh my God, one a day. It would take me probably 10 years to get through them all. Because it's like 365 days in a year, right? And I probably have 3,000 friggin' movies up there. Right? So it's like 8 to 10 years or something. There's no fucking way. And then what? I'm going to rewatch them all? Like, there's no way the value has been justified. Right? It's just not. It's just not justifiable. Because there's no way I'm going to watch these movies enough where it justified having them for the price that I paid. Right? I could just rent them offline for like $3 or $4, and I'm probably only going to watch, like, I can guarantee you I probably won't watch over half the films on my wall ever again in my life. Just, I won't. Like, realistically, I just won't. So it's just like, why do I have them sometimes? I really definitely think about that quite often. I always want to keep the real valuable shit to me. I don't give a fuck about the price tag. I mean the valuable stuff to me. I'll never get rid of like the Halloween movies and the Friday the 13th movies and stuff like that. But there's probably half my movies I'd probably be better off without. There's just like no point to any of them. I'm like, I'm probably not going to watch any of them ever again. Anyways, moving on. But you know, just collectors. It's kind of almost like a sickness of the mind. I feel like Thor and Oakenshield and The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. I have gold sickness. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, basically, the whole premise of the movie is like go around, find the other two books, and compare them, and see who has the authentic one. And I need that authentic one. And it's like, okay. What I find kind of funny about it is that in the end, you know, this is all about books, right? And books are about reading typically. And the words in the book mean shit. I found that to be kind of hilarious. Seems to be like this this kind of book obsessed culture and everything in the movie. Like you have this book detective, and he's going around all these private collections of these wealthy libraries of you know, these incredible prints of these classic first edition type novels, books, whatever. And the only thing that matters in these books is the pictures. Like, nothing else matters. Because in the end, all you have to do is just acquire the 9 pictures from the 3 different books that all have LCF. And it has to be the authentic ones, of course. And then you can just walk right up to the gate. It'll open straight up for you, and you just walk right in. So no words necessary. All the words in those books are completely unnecessary. Total bullshit. You just need the 3 books, collect the fucking trading cards inside, and walk on in. So I found that pretty silly. There's no like incantation. There's no words to be spoken. There's no research to be done within the books. It's just kind of like if you just grabbed all 3 books and you walked up to the gate, you can walk right in. So I don't know. It just didn't seem like there was much to be earned. Like, it's just like, I'm not saying the journey isn't complicated. It is, obviously. but I don't know. It's just taking 9 pictures and walking up. Anyway, anybody else find that kind of silly? There's nothing, no words. Like, shouldn't there be something, different passages in there? The pages themselves, like, you have to read off of them in the right order. Like, the 9 pages have to be placed in some order and read in a certain order. And that, I don't know. Just nothing, no words at all, just pictures. It's funny. This is Dr. Seuss. He wrote, fucking not Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss has words. Just picture books. It's like a little children's picture book written by Lucifer himself. Alright. Written. But that's just it, right? Like, the guy who wrote it, who was like hanged and whatnot, he's like, oh, Lucifer helped him write the book. And it's like, but it's all about the pictures Lucifer drew. And then someone else just traced his drawings, and A.T. did the renderings of Lucifer's actual drawings, right? It's definitely Lucifer drew the pictures, and then A.T. He copied them, but then was like, I'm gonna change little things. I'm gonna switch the hands. I'm gonna brick up a wall. I'm gonna put 4 turrets instead of 3. I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty silly. It's really silly when you think about it, but I still like the movie. I think it's got a good vibe to it. I like the detective stuff. I like Depp in it. I like the woman in it. That I think her name is literally just the woman. Who I'm not 100% sure what to make of her either. She's like, is she the devil and she wants him to succeed, or is she, I don't know what to make of her. She's not an angel, right? Like, she leads him to the final page, which gets him the entryway into hell. And she does seem like she's protecting him, right? Like, this guy is about to get attacked by this bodyguard of one of the chick who wants the book back, and she pulls up on her motorcycle and scares him away, and multiple times she's helping him get out of situations, and so she definitely wants him to succeed, and she has the ability to kind of shapeshift, and she can change her eye color, and as I said, she can float, and she's stronger than people, and she's like a demon. She's not good. But I don't really know what the aim is. It's just like she wanted him to get into the gates of hell. I don't know. Like, I don't really know what to make of this movie. Like, after having watched it a few times now, I am still kind of like confused by it. I still liked it, but I am confused by it. The books in this are in such good condition. Like, I know private owners take care of these things and try to keep them out of the sun and whatnot, but dude, these fucking books are like, the pages are like brand new. Like, when they're rifling through them, and you have books that are 300 plus years old, well, paper only stays good for so long. I mean, I have I know this is a totally different material, but I have masks, right? Latex masks that I bought from Spirit just, a year or two ago, and they're stiff and they're kind of crumbling, and it's happening to all my masks. All my masks that I buy from Trick or Treat Studios are sitting up here, and they look good, but if I touch them, they're crunchy, and they're gonna disintegrate and fall apart. I'm sure I have to put them in some kind of a glass case with a certain kind of whatever in it. I don't know much about that kind of stuff, but man, these books, when you see old books like this, they're usually kept behind glass and whatever, because they are not doing well. The pages are brittle, and in this, he's like picking it up, and he's like you know, just carrying it around like it's a normal book. And I don't know, these things are in pristine condition. They're just looking through them, and every book in this is just like they flip the pages and they're hundreds of years old. The Don Quixote stuff is from the 1700s, and they just open it up and they're just flipping the pages like nothing. And everybody's smoking around these books. The woman in the wheelchair, like, she's like, nobody smokes around my collection. But even the dudes, the twins, which that's like a green screen with the same actor playing twins. I think they just did that purposely to show off that they could do it without like that like split die I forget dia something shot that I forget what that word is, that they used to have to do. Um, but yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty seamless. This looked actually really good. I could kind of tell in certain moments, but barely. So definitely a really good use of that there, and the way they interacted with each other felt pretty believable. So I think most people probably just thought they were twins. Um, but yeah, even they like he gives the book to one of them, and they just like ash right onto the book, like right as it sits down in front of them. I don't know if that's supposed to be like disrespectful to the book or whatever, but Depp himself is smoking in this movie over them. He tries to light up a cigarette, in that chick's place, as I said, and she's like, nobody smokes around my books. So he constantly smokes around the books. Not only does that get into the leather and into the pages, but it also, the ash and an ember can fall on and you burn the page, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? These are priceless. I mean, they say in here that this ninth gate book that he has from the main dude here, they said it was probably like $1 million for that book. So, guy's just, you know, carelessly carrying around this book in his backpack and like cigarettes over. This does not seem like some rare book collector kind of mystery detective guy. He doesn't seem to give two shits about these books. But at the beginning, it very much seemed like he cared. But I think ultimately, he cares about money, right? Like, that's really what it comes down to. Very much like the devil's advocate. He can be bought. And when the chick who used to own the book comes after him, and tries to, like, fuck him to get her to get him on her side, and then after they're done fucking, she's like, okay, like, sell me the book, and he's like, no, and she just attacks him, and it's pretty funny. He's got his pants around his ankles from having sex, and she's like biting on his chest, and that scene is fucked up. She like knocks him out. Yeah, trying to fight with your pants around your ankles, not recommended. Everyone he comes in contact with just drops dead around him. The owners of the books, like the guy who ends up in the fountain, the chick in the wheelchair. That's a pretty grim scene when she like turns around, her tongue sticking out of her mouth, and she like, her short circuiting wheelchair just runs right into the double doors that opens up into the fire. That's actually a really great shot. I love the weight of it, very much like The Omen when the nanny or maid or whoever hangs herself. It's all for you, Damien, and her body like hits. There's like such a weight to it. It makes it feel so much more visceral. And I had a very similar feeling here when her body like hits the doors and opens it up. There's just something very, as I said, visceral about it. So good on that. That was intense when that happened. And yeah, and then the music in this, I will admit, is not great at times. Like, probably half of the music feels like it's out of Ghostbusters or something. Like, that's the movie I kept thinking of when they were like the like kind of casual, almost like feel good comedy. That's what it felt like. Like, listen to the music in this and think about it in like something like Ghostbusters. I think it would fit perfectly. So, weird choice, real weird choice. Because there's times where things are supposed to be intense, and that music is playing, and there's supposed to be like this kind of thrilling atmosphere to the movie, and that just kind of, infringes upon on that. So it hurts it for sure, in my opinion. It takes some of the wind out of the sails. And the scene where Balkan attacks the chick that Depp had sex with, the first one, not the one in the end, not the woman. I forget everyone's fucking name. I always do. But the one that's up at the podium in front of her cult and steals the book from him. You can so clearly see when like Balkan like attacks her and like onto the bed, which I'm assuming someone was gonna fuck her. There's a bed behind her. It's like what? Anyway, that's the ritual, I guess, because they have to have sex outside the burning castle, which I don't know. Did that do something? Is that the ritual? I don't fucking know. He didn't have the pages, but she thought she could do something with the book, with Balkan's book. I don't really know. But regardless, like when he like tackles her, you can clearly see like a string attached to the podium she was at, and somebody just yanks it and pulls it over because it's supposed to be like kicked over by their struggle or whatever. But look for it; it's really funny. You can see it clear as day. There's like a string, and it just pulls the podium over as soon as they start struggling. So. It was very quick, but I just never miss stuff like that. Like 99% of the time, I catch all that kind of stuff, and it's just very apparent. Anyway, and when Belkin like lights himself on fire, and then I should say lights a ring of fire around himself, and then immolates himself, and he's like, "I feel nothing." I feel like he's either like fully bought into it and like super hyped, so he's not feeling pain because he's such a believer that maybe he's just able to kind of stave off the pain in his head for a bit, but then it just overtakes him, or because he has 8 pages, does it like sort of work until it doesn't. Like, does it give, like, it's like almost going through the different circuits and being like, yes, you got the whole right path, and then it gets to the ninth one, and it's like, never mind, you no entry, right? It's like calculating, and then it hits the last page, and it's like, denied, and then it takes his power away. It was like, granted him temporary immunity and checking his credentials. Maybe that's what's happening there. I don't know. Of course, I don't know, but I thought that was kind of funny. And yeah, so yeah, he burns to death. But I mean, after he burned to death, I mean, where did he go? Probably went to hell, right? I mean, he's gonna meet Satan like that anyway. I mean, if you want to meet Satan in his idea, just kill yourself. But I guess he's looking for ultimate power. He doesn't want to die, right? He doesn't want to go down into hell and be a servant of Satan. He wants to fucking take the power of Satan. He wants to be immortal. He wants to be invincible. He wants to have ultimate power. So, yeah, I get it. And yeah, we get the sex scene with the shape shifting and the eye change and the fire in the background. It's supposed to be the big evil climax moment. Haha. And the fact that these twins just like keep their like coveted page that they tore out of their copy when they had it, and they just throw it up on top of their bookshelf, and they just disappear, and when he comes, it just so happens like he's fated to have it, I guess. But I guess with the the kind of disrespect of like ashing on the book, maybe they really don't give a shit. But the fact that they took it out because they figured it out, I would assume, like the LCF thing, I don't know how they would when, and then what, they put in a forgery, that's the one forgery, and copied it exactly, put LCF, and it wasn't LCF. It wasn't Lucifer's drawing, but they just take it out and just are like, all right, where do you put this? I don't know, throw it up on the fucking bookshelf and forget about it, and then, we'll just disappear later, and it just falls off the shelf, and it's convenient, and then he just picks it up and walks into the gates, and that's it. That's it. There's nothing more to it. It's very simple, and we don't get any resolution to the girl and who she was and what her aim was, and we don't really. I don't know. As I said, I think the atmosphere works. I think that there's cool things about it. I think Depp's good. I like the mystery. I like the sleuthing and the kind of the cunningness of his character and his name in the field, and how he's able to kind of schmooze certain people, and his intelligence on the all of the uh, books and all of that stuff. Like, he's a very knowledgeable book collector, and as I said, detective. So like all that stuff is cool. I like all that stuff, but I don't know. It's just such a simplistic movie in a lot of ways, and it leaves a lot of questions. And yeah, I mean, with the ninth page that he acquires, he sees that the woman who he had sex with, the one that's helping him, is like the woman on like the dragon, which I don't know. As I said, like I don't. That's not. Is that like a servant of Satan, and they just wanted Depp's character, and nobody else, or what? He wasn't the most corrupt of them, right? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think about everything with Polanski and people working with him, and the fact he's able to continue to keep making movies in the country, and his name is still held in a pretty high prestige? All the stuff we talked about in this movie. It's bedtime. All right, guys. I'll see you in the comments. Let me know what you think about this movie, and I appreciate the recommendations and whatnot, so thank you. All right, adios.